It's a two something.
It's a
two baba
something. Yes, so.
You know, sitting with a legend.
Concluded by saying, do not change.
Don't change that
And
child.
Whatever you do, just don't change
Change
it.
the
Just
dial.
leave it the way it is. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning. Suleiman Babajia Osman is my name, and we go straight to the paper. But just before that, aromatherapy is something we need to talk about immediately after the show. Trust me.
We're here for you, don't worry.
Definitely.
Sule
All right,
Sule is dazzled, please. He's dazzled by the beauty.
Please. Who would it be?
Please discuss Osime. Discuss Osime.
All right, so let's start with the nation. We go straight to the leading story. It's all about PDP. It's crisis. Everywhere you go on the papers this morning, and we start with this one. Fubara, others boycott as PDP faction holds a convention. It has some riders here. Abuja court holds event over Lamido's exclusion from chairmanship contest. Restrain INEC from monitoring, recognizing outcome. Oyo High Court reaffirms jurisdiction to hear suits. Wike Anyao Batu Damagun governance for control of headquarters. Details of that are on page 4. Now, health workers declare indefinite nationwide strike. Well, that's something that we always want to avoid in Nigeria, but unfortunately, it keeps coming. Moving on to the next paper, Saturday Telegraph. We'll go straight to the leading story. Still on PDP convention, Lamido pulls out as Abuja court holds exercise. Ibadan court gives nod. Ex parte order can't take precedence over judgment, says Wike. Ex-governor purchased the form late. Body judge. Details of all this can be found on page 3. Now, federal government has not met our main demand. ASU says full-blown strike may be inevitable, describes role of government officials as worrisome. Details of that on pages 4 and 5. Let's just hope that the authorities concerned will do whatever they can to avert this upcoming strike, because it doesn't really help anyone, really. Okay, now to leadership weekend. We start with this story just above the masthead. The army assures on proactive approach against insecurity. Details of that can be found on page 6. Crisis settle for caretaker arrangement. Trustees committee tells People's Democratic Party warns that INEC may not monitor today's convention over legal issues. Weakest camp accept caretaker option, adopts trustees report. PDP in tug of war over Abuja Ibadan court orders. Details of all this can be found on page 4. Now to the Guardian. Let's take the stories just above the masthead. Campaign against hunger unites farmers, other stakeholders. No Ribadu from fighting graft to tendering nation's security. Now to the leading story. Contentious PDP convention. Complex deals that frustrate opposition parties' revival. Details of all this can be found on page 10. Now to the Punch. Okay, beside the main flag, this one says, how life abroad humbled me, Omotola Ekinde. Of course, this is one veteran of the Nollywood, and of course, she's moved abroad, and then she's shared, it's an elaborate interview here at the Punch. I'm sure you would do the needful by picking up a Punch and just read that conversation. Convention for PDP governors storm Ibadan as INEC signals boycott. Lamido blames governors. Wike Bode George clash over court ruling. State delegates arrive venue. Details of that on page 4. Now to the last paper I have with me this morning, and that is Thelma. Can you imagine? Thelma has a paper, of course. She definitely
If Osime is not there, what's the game?
Talking about sporting life, and of course we're going to start with the
Osime.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, well, we have to celebrate Osimhen. Now this one says Nigeria versus DRC. Osimhen, I am human. I make mistakes. Apologizes to teammates over missed chance. Vows to bomb Leopards.
Okay.
Of course, the most important thing is to emerge victorious tomorrow when we take on the DRC. It's the most important, game for me throughout this year. It doesn't matter what we've played before. This is the most important thing for me because I believe that if we're able to beat the DRC tomorrow, definitely our final qualifying match will
be there.
It goes that Nigerians are rallying for that in every form and shape necessary.
All right,
and we're giving them all the support that they need. So, take it away.
From Osimhen to Igalo. Of course, I'm talking about Igalo because Godwin and Nakina is having a chat with him in Sports Summit.